Movies, TV, sports, flicks. Movies, TV, sports, flicks. Movies, TV, sports, flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Movies, TV, sports, flicks. Movies, TV, sports, flicks. Movies, TV, sports, flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talks Flicks podcast. I'm your host, the Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. Welcome to the podcast where me, the Captain, talks about movies, TV, sports, flicks. Anything you see on the tube or screen, I like to get in here and give my unique perspective. Because after 46 years of being on planet Earth, I've developed a unique perspective about these movies, TV, sports, and flicks. I'd here to tell you about it. Because just maybe you care. And according to the stats, looks like you do care. I want to give a big shout out to Peru. Got some plays over Peru this past week. Gracias, gratitude, Todoraba, and Peru. I heard you guys got all types of copper. Like you guys are doing a lot of stuff with copper. All types of copper up in Peru. You guys are exporting all over the place. Awesome. Cool to hear that you guys got lots of copper and you export it. Maybe sometime in my life, I've had some copper straight out of Peru. So many thanks for listening. Appreciate it, guys. It's gratitude. And just FYI, back then was cool to be a radio DJ, but I never got a job. I think I never got a job because I just didn't believe in myself. If I would have believed in myself, I may have became a world famous radio DJ, but I didn't. And that allowed me to become the greatest podcaster in the Matrix. Something to debate. Might be true, might not be true. But I said it on the internet, so it's gotta be true, right? Because everything on the internet is facts, not facts, true, false, fake news, propaganda, the Matrix. I don't know. I didn't make the internet. Ask the people that made the internet. So when you're online, just be aware, just watch out, just be mindful. Anyways, I can ramble here all day, but I won't. Let's get right into the podcast. But first, a word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I rap. And just yesterday, I rapped again. I just re-released my single called Divine Ojo that I dropped back in 2016. But now there's a global release. So anyways, I did the song called Divine Ojo. It's me with my unique rap style with some crazy sounding beats. If you want to hear, I'll put the link to the track below. So check it out, Divine Ojo by yours truly. Now let's get on with the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back again. Yeah, I showed up again. It's a repeat. It's Groundhog's Day. I think I've said that before. I said it before, and before that. This just might be a loop. It's a loop. It's a time loop. I'm stuck in a never-ending time loop. And maybe you've heard this before. It's like, Captain, you keep saying it all the time. Yeah, bro, it's like kind of the intro to the podcast. It's kind of what I do. It's my ninja way. But I am here again. And like many other times before, I thought I might not make it. I didn't have any ideas for the podcast. It's like the clock was ticking like podcasters do. Like, bro, you need a podcast idea right now. But Captain, you talk about TV, movies, sports, and flicks. It's so easy to come up with topics. Yeah, bro, but I didn't watch a whole lot. What I did watch, though, was just a lot of people talking. Lately, over the last few months, it's what I'm going to talk about in the podcast today, actually, is that I've just been watching a lot of people talking. That's it. I've not been watching that much scripted TV. Now that Star Trek is done and doesn't come back for a few weeks, I've just been watching people talk about a bunch of different stuff. Talk about religion. Talk about, like, society. Talk about stocks. Talk about money. Talk about the world is ending. Talk about, cryptocurrency. Talk about TVs, movies, sports, and flicks. Talk about, where the superheroes are going. Just a lot of people just talking, just basically doing what I'm doing. I just basically watch a bunch of people do what I'm doing. Just some random people talking about stuff. I've talked about that on the podcast before, but it just kind of seems like what I watch now. And I'll be completely honest with you guys. As of late, I just kind of prefer to hear people talk about stuff rather than watching scripted dramas. I don't know if, like, the scripted TV shows just aren't as good as they used to be. Have I evolved into a different human being? I just can't relate to the scripted as much. I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, when it's time for me to sit down, relax, and rest, I generally just watch people talking. In fact, right before I did this podcast, I was watching some dude talking about stuff, right? There's just something so raw about a person in a camera and just talking into the camera, just letting out their emotions, their feelings, their thoughts, just hearing them speak so authentically. It's so authentic that it's hard to replicate. You know, a lot of this high-level produced scripted TV just can't replicate the rawness of a human being with a microphone and a camera and just being so real and authentic. I think that's maybe what it is. When someone is being authentic and genuine, you can just feel it, you can sense it, you can taste it, you can smell it, you can just understand it. When it's being done, you know it, and when they do it, you just connect. I think, at least with me, a lot of these people I watch on the tube are very genuine and authentic and good at talking about whatever they're talking about. I watch them over and over and over again. Buddhism, religion, spirituality, women, money, just everything. Just people just talking. Some talk about ideas I never heard before. Some talk about things I have heard. But it's just interesting to hear different people's take on things. You know, it's out the mundane. I'll be honest, in my walk in life, some of the conversations I have are just small talk and mundane. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a place and time for all these things. But sometimes you just want your mind to expand, unlock. And you want to hear people talk about big ideas, big things, big ideas, big possibilities, right? You know, I think a lot of people are gravitating towards that. Now, I don't really want to go into this here in the podcast, but I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there anyways. Now, as you may be aware, politics are kind of a big thing now. I remember 20 years ago, they weren't as big of a thing. But it just seems now that politics are like a really hot, big item in the last maybe 4 or 5 years. It's almost like sports now. Politics are almost like sports. And I think it's the same thing. It's just people talking. It's just all this is just people talking. It's something about people talking with passion and a lot of personality and loudness or character or charisma. Just something about that draws people in. And then people just feed into all these different ideas and narratives that are being presented by these people with great charisma. I've talked about it in the podcast before. And I think a lot of us are doing that. I think that's why YouTube is so big. You just people just posting videos and people just talking. And that's all I've been doing this past week. And that's part of the reason I have nothing to talk about this week, because I haven't really watched a lot of stuff. First, my time has been very busy, first of all. So I have limited time. And in that limited time, you're just watching people talking, the ASMR videos, you know, just random people talking, women, men, young, old, you know. That's what I've been doing. Just basically watching myself. So I don't know. I mean, are you guys consuming a lot of scripted TV? Are you? Or are you like me, just watching random people talk about stuff on YouTube? I see the views on these videos that I'm watching, and the numbers are huge. They got big numbers. So people are definitely watching these people talk. Like seriously, they're watching, they're engaged. And some of it's conspiratorial, some of it's just run-of-the-mill stuff. But it's all the different topics and varieties you could ever ask for is on there. Anything you could ever want to know and hear about, somebody's on YouTube talking about it. I should do YouTube videos, bro. Maybe I should. Maybe I should just do what I'm doing here, but do it in video form. But I don't know, have you seen my mug before? You ever seen my mug? You might want to be like, Captain, don't go on TV. So yeah, that's it. That's all I want to talk about. It's basically, I just been watching a bunch of people talking, and I've not been watching a lot of scripted shows. And I think maybe the reality, the realness, the rawness, the real people talking, maybe overtaking scripted. I don't know. I'm no expert. I'm just a guy that talks in the podcast. So yeah, that's all I want to talk about. But before I sign off, one last thing that I'm going to talk about again and again and again and again. As we watch this too, and as we watch random people talking about stuff, make sure when you watch with an objective eye, right? You can watch and hear the information, but don't get sucked into the narrative so hardcore, right? Never follow anything so hardcore unless you truly, really, really believe it. And just because someone told you on a YouTube video, whoever this may be, whoever they may be, doesn't matter what they talk about or who they are, what they're saying. Do your research and research it yourself to figure out, is this true for me? For anything. It doesn't matter what the topic. It doesn't matter who's saying it. It does not matter. Make sure when you watch these guys, women, whoever they're talking, make sure you watch, but also keep an objective, critical thinking eye. It makes you look into it yourself, research yourself to see, is this true for me? I watch a lot of things from all different perspectives, walks of life, a lot of stuff. And I got to make sure I got a clear mind. It's like, is this true for me or not? That's how we go for everything. Everything's that way. So when you watch these random people with the rawness and the realness, these are very entertaining videos, and you can feel the authenticity. You can feel the authenticness. But just because it comes off authentic and real, it is true and real and authentic for these people, does not necessarily mean it's your truth. So when you see these engaging, raw people on the net delivering with charismatic ways, make sure you check it out. Check the information, research, look it up. Find out for yourself, is this true for me? So yeah, do that. I don't always talk about it all the time, but we got to make sure we keep this in our mind, because we're trying to grow and expand. And on the path of expansion, we're going to encounter many different ideas and beliefs. And let's level up and go to new places, new spaces. But make sure the information and the way we practice and what and how we are is true to ourselves. And if we're true to ourselves, the sky's the limit. So let's go, let's get it, let's not stop, and let's handle our business, and let's thrive in 2022. So thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Can I say gratitude? And until next time, we'll see you. Live long and prosper. Spock. Until next time, it's the Captain Peace.
The Captain Talks Flicks.